It is the concern I have for the future of this great state of Colorado, my country, and my children that I stand here today, offering my humble and limited abilities as a candidate for Governor of Colorado. There are candidates that will pretend to know all of the answers to the ills we face. I will never pretend to know every answer. There are candidates that believe if you have no political experience that is a flaw in a candidacy. I respectfully disagree and only need to point to the founders' belief in a government of the people. There are candidates that continue to believe that the course we have been on as a nation and state is sustainable with small changes in policy or a change in the letter that follows a candidate's name. I believe we have learned our lesson. Our state and country has reached a point in history that the challenges we face are bigger than party affiliation, bigger than any government program promise, and our destiny is now in the hands of the citizens of Colorado and America. The current issues we face today have struck the same nerve that planted the seeds of freedom in our founding fathers. We are at a point in time that we must reflect on the same very principles that this nation was founded on: life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Today, politicians are debating health care, cap and trade, a government takeover of the free markets. In Colorado, we have basic 10th Amendment rights and eminent domain issues at Pinyon Canyon. There's an ongoing effort to break the chains of Tabor that have been the only protection from the same destiny as California and New York. Teachers' unions overteaching children, public pensions out of balance with the private sector that pays them, and a constant expansion of government programs at the expense of free markets and freedom. These are all important issues, but at the core of Colorado and America's future is not each of these issues individually. It is the principle found in our Constitution. The chaos and confusion at the state and national level can all be tracked to a drifting from our founding principle: limited central government with a framework that encourages and supports individual freedom and innovation. Every issue we argue today is grounded in the principle that more government programs are the solution. But as our great President Ronald Reagan reminded us, government is not the solution to our problem. Government is the problem. But government can only be the problem when we, the people, have failed to protect our constitutional rights to limited government. Our Constitution is clear. Our protection of the constitutional limits within it have been selective. We have allowed our Constitution to be ignored, and the results are the greatest issues we face today. As Governor of Colorado, my mission will be clear to every Colorado resident as well as every American citizen. We will renew our commitment to the greatest political document ever produced by mankind, the U.S. Constitution. It will be difficult because too many have not been taught the basic tenets of our government. Too many have been taught the role of government is not limited. Too many have given up hope that it seems our Constitution is just another relic in a museum. I am here today to say the Constitution is as relevant today as it was at our founding. I am here today to educate anyone willing to listen that our Constitution is the law of the land, and we are going to abide by the law. I am here today as an advocate to regenerate the interest in constitutional government to begin on a path of rejuvenation of our state and our country. I invite every American that believes in the Constitution to join me. As governor, every program will have to pass the constitutional test. As anyone that knows the 10th Amendment will attest to, most government responsibility belongs to the state. Any federal program that is currently or in the future thrust upon our state will have to pass the constitutional test. Within the law of the Constitution, we will eliminate unfunded mandates, take responsibility for our own self-governing, and we will be a new frontier for free markets and a free people. The 10th Amendment will be our foundation to building a bright future for the children of Colorado and our nation. We will have and decide how to pay for the best schools and education system in the country. We will have and decide how to pay for the best health care in the nation. We will have and support a low-cost environment for the engine of our economy, small business. We will do this without the heavy hand or extortion practices of the federal government. We will do what the people of Colorado believe is the right things to do for our state. We love our United States of America with all of our heart, and we are willing to pay for our own services in Colorado, but we will no longer pay for the corporate welfare and bailouts of private business, monuments to self-aggrandizing politicians, or any program not specifically enumerated in the Constitution. We will do this by supporting and challenging the 16th Amendment. We will limit what the federal government can directly tax the citizens of Colorado by asking the citizens of Colorado to amend our Colorado Constitution. With this reduction in federal taxes, we will transfer these funds to pay for the programs that are decided here by the people of Colorado. The rest will remain with the people in the form of higher pay stubs. We will pay our share of the military, of course, because we love and pray for our military every day, along with all other enumerated powers. Our founding principles are the issue at stake. It is bigger than any single issue because the underlying issue is our freedom. Our freedom from an overreaching, unconstitutional federal government, a federal government that is stealing the future generation's ability to live free. A federal government that is living outside the law of our Constitution. A federal government that will continue to ignore our rights as long as we continue to ignore our Constitution. A federal government that has become what our founders feared. A government that has become central to every decision the individual and state should be making in a free society. Freedom is at the core of my candidacy. Freedom is our ability as individuals to choose our destiny and, yes, to learn from our failure. We can choose to change the Constitution through the amendment process, but we cannot choose to ignore our laws any longer. The results are lawlessness. The Constitution is the law, and our lack of enforcement has created lawlessness at the federal level. This behavior has jeopardized the great state of Colorado, and it is the next governor's responsibility, along with the state legislature, Democrats, Republicans, and Independents, to ensure that every citizen of the state of Colorado has the opportunity to pursue life, liberty, and happiness. Today I put the federal government on notice. Colorado, under my leadership and my fellow statesmen, will enforce the United States Constitution as envisioned by our founders. I ask, as citizens of Colorado and America, to read the Constitution and decide if it is the solution or, as our current president believes, the problem. I believe it is the solution and our hope for a better future. Individuals, communities, the state, and the federal government all have a role to play to ensure a bright future. It all starts with the individual. The closer the power is to the people, the more accountable that government is. The further the power is from the people, the closer we get to tyranny. I humbly ask you to support our Constitution. I humbly ask you to support my campaign for Governor of Colorado. Thank you, and God bless Colorado and America.